So again, to kind of look back, as I mentioned before, Sir Tim Berners-Lee inventing the web in the late 80s and 90s through technology such as HTML, Hypertext Transport Protocol, HTTP, utilizing dedicated web servers and web browsers that really enabled individuals and businesses and institutions to establish their own presence. So take that out of the pure institution only, the governments in particular, or commercial businesses like the IBMs of the world, but moving it to small business, individuals, smaller universities, etc. In 93, as I mentioned earlier, 93, 94, 95, the browsers came about, specifically the Mosaic browser, which was the predecessor to Netscape Navigator, invented by Mark Andreessen and his teams, obviously running on multiple platforms, Windows, Unix, Macintosh. Again, the first commercial browser, Netscape Navigator, by Jim Clark and Mark Andreessen, and then in 95, Microsoft coming out real quick to get on this heavy direction with Microsoft Internet Explorer. The hypertext formatted language that is the underlying driver of the World Wide Web is text formatted with embedded links. Very, very simply, linking documents to one another on different pages. They could be sounds, they could be text, they could be video, they could be audio files, animation files, using the hypertext transfer protocol and URLs. So the HTTP to actually provide that underlying protocol so the data can talk to each other at specific locations, URLs, addresses. Again, obviously certain things like megacorp.com/content features, and then you go to a page that's listed as 082602, but it could be as simple as amazon.com / Professor Loudon's e-commerce textbook. Could be more natural language. Okay, so markup languages, which are the language that primarily build the web page and the content that you're seeing on a website, containing things like tags to help format text, to look and feel, and then rich version for rich animation and video, which is HTML5. And you'll note that HTML5 is important, especially in the world of Apple, because Apple does not embrace Adobe Flash, which is one of the leading sources of rich internet interactive applications, not supported in the Apple world. So HTML5, obviously an improvement on HTML, allowing those rich experiences for end consumers, a boon for e-commerce, obviously. XML, or extensible markup language, is a language that allows you to describe the data and the information being transmitted, and it heavily uses tags that are used and defined by the user about their data, about their pages. So while it is a technology and a language that typically a programmer has to use, it's not as detailed as, let's say, the 0-1 analogy for packet switching. It allows users to use XML editors to help build, and also uses forms-based technology to allow users to put tags in defining their data. So it's data about information. So web servers and web clients. The web server software is the local guts of an organization running a web environment, e-commerce environment, a merchant environment. It is the computer or sets of computers that run that business. So as you can imagine, Amazon.com has thousands of web servers to handle all of the requests that are coming in so frequently from all over the world. But Sal's Pizza could have their own web server running on a PC that's very small within their pizza shop to service, let's say, their 3 pizza parlors in Nassau County, and run their multiple web pages, also take orders, and also provide information about, let's say, their catering business. Okay, so web servers use technologies such as Apache or Microsoft's IIS server technology. These are platforms for web servers containing such things as security, file transfer, search engine, and data capture. The server is really multiple components. It is the server software that runs the physical server, but it also is the physical box that it runs in. So you might hear those terms used interchangeably. It is also a specialized server. Specialized forms of web servers are database servers, which could handle all your product information, your customer relationship management information, or it could be your ad server where you're actually driving and pushing your ads, which could be very rich logo and image-oriented ads, text-based ads. They could be video-based ads. Web clients are the clients that actually, any device that attaches to the internet is capable of making HTTP requests and displaying back HTML pages. So that could be your smartphone, it could be your laptop. That's the web client. And typically think of it as where the user interacts the consumer interacts in an e-commerce environment. Okay, web browsers, just definitionally, the primary purpose is to display web pages. Internet Explorer owns most of the market, but Mozilla, an open source product, has a large and growing percentage, and then other ones are growing, Google Chrome and Safari. Those are the main four. If you have and are using those in your e-commerce business and you're testing for them, because think about it, you have to be testing for the user experience. At a minimum, you got to be testing for Internet Explorer, but the reality is you got to, especially if you're going after innovators and the more geek crowd, the reality is you got to be testing against Firefox and Chrome. And then if you're in the Apple crowd, you got to be wary of Apple users using Safari. Not wary, but you got to be testing that for your e-commerce site. The other piece would be a lot of Apple users, such as myself, utilize not only Safari but Chrome and Firefox.